Dude. Hey guys, it's Wario, and today we're gonna do a in-depth dive on the new best Barbarian build in the game. It's getting buffed too. We're smashing 100s. You can do them, almost faster than a rogue with double swing now. So I'm gonna jump into the skill tree. We'll do the Paragon board, and we'll go over, expertise and weapons. So let's hop into the skill tree. We're going to have combat lunging strike. This is good for berserking. It acts as a gap closer, and so this is best in slot. Also, you get your fury. Um, so let's go into our next one. We got double swing. This is what the build's built around. Double swing. You have violent double swing, which is going to make your enemies vulnerable. So you're constantly CCing enemies and then hitting them with double swing, so they're always going to be vulnerable. So it's super busted. For me, I personally like tactical ground stomp. This build is very fury heavy, like most bar builds, other than thorns. And this just gives you an extra generator, so you get 40 fury. Comes in really clutch with boss fights, and also ground stomp is just good for boss fights because of the stagger effect. We also have Rallying Cry. I'm not really going to go much into the shouts that we're using because all barbs use the three shouts. So everybody by now should just know, like, hey, you're using the three shouts. But I will go to, you're using tactical for this one. For Rallying Cry, you're going to be using challenging shout. I'll go in a little detail on this one. It's considered a CC, crowd control, so control duration extends the damage reduction with this, which is super nice. Then we'll go into Mighty War Cry, Base Life, Fortify. I'm sick and tired of talking about barb shouts because we use them in every single build. Um, so I use aggressive resistance for that damage reduction, and then I also use prolific fury for the fury generation. We're going to get into No Mercy. This is just critical strike chance against immobilized stunned enemies. Enemies are always stunned, so this is really good. Then we go into Thick Skin and Counter Offensive. This is just good for, maximum life. You deal 12% increased damage, and you also have that Fortify on there. We go into Duelist. This is for attack speed. You want to be swinging those axes or swords or maces as fast as you can. Um, so you can use maces, but just keep in mind that concussion isn't working anymore because um, Barber, lucky hit chance procs with Barber isn't working. So these three stats right here, you can put them into, you know, like max these out right here. Like you can do that. You can go in. I'm just giving you guys like ideas. Um, you can put 1 point into outburst. I've seen people using the revenge glyph that will give you, I believe, 8% damage multiplier when your thorns hits enemies. So that's good. I don't use revenge, so I probably will I'll just do these two guys right here. Again, you guys can. This is just suggestions. It's not optimized, fully, but I am smashing through 100s in, anywhere between 3 to 8 minutes, depending on the dungeon. So don't think like, oh, Wario, you know, ha, just just test things. I'm just here to give you guys a path. You can experiment with whatever you guys want. So let's get back into the skill tree. We have Tempered Fury. This is just, I don't know, it's whatever. But we mainly get it for Invigorating Fury, the 3% of your maximum life. For each 100 Fury spent, you're dumping Fury with this build. And then lastly, Bridled Rage. Core skills deal 135 increased damage, but cost more Fury. That's totally fine, but this is the best one that I've been testing. Let's go into the Paragon board. For our Paragon board, I use the same 3 Paragon boards for every single build. Again, this if you're just a double swing player or just a Thorns player, these aren't optimized just for those builds. They can be better, but if you just want to save money and gold and time and use these 3 pages and then just swap the last 2 pages, you can do any build with the Barbarian at tier 100, or that's the idea. So I'm making this happen. So if you guys want to follow my first 3 Paragon boards, um, go for it because they're really good for any build. And you can do the in-game content. So let's hop into it. I'm not going to go like too in depth on the Paragon board, but I will hover over the Paragon nodes. You guys can just check them out. You can pause the screen or whatever you want to do. I also have the build guides, links to the build guides. So let's get into it. Exploit, everybody knows why we use exploit. I'm just a big fan of rare nodes. That's why I only use 5 Paragon boards. Get maximum life, armor. We got iron strength, armor. We have raw power, physical damage. Next board we got territorial, and then this is the bone breaker one. We got tenacity for armor, max life. That's always good. We got 10% damage reduction while healthy on the Vigor one, and we'll get into the next board. We're using Marshal for our cooldowns, and then this board is Decimator. This is our vulnerable page, so this is really good because this grants 125% bonus to all your magic nodes, which is increasing our vulnerable damage. So this is really strong because vulnerable damage is just busted. So again, I'm just hovering over these. And then we'll go to the 4th page. I use ambidextrous, and it's paired with the flawless technique. This page, you're going for a lot of the rare nodes, so you're going to be putting quite a few Paragon points into this page. But you have Slayer, Wild Force, Brash, Heavy Blows, and Havoc. Again, I don't want to talk too much about these. You guys, they're in the link, and you guys can look at them and see. Like, you guys can optimize your Paragon boards more however you choose. I'm not telling you guys like this is the one. Like, just do this. But I do like the first 3 Paragon boards and making it cheap to swap your builds. All right, for our last page, I have Wrath, and this is for Warbringer. Raw Power, Core Reserve, Guarded Advance, and then we're using this one because it's just really good. So yeah, that's the Paragon board. Now let's talk about our expertise. I use Two-Handed Axe expertise because this goes into your vulnerable bucket, and then you can. So since concussion doesn't work anymore, maces were best in slot for this build. But now you can use any of these. So you can use one-handed axe expertise. These all, like, through testing, these are pumping out almost like the same numbers from the testing that I've done. So you can use the one-handed axes, one-handed maces, one-handed swords. But you want to stay away from polearms because this is lucky hit chance, and with Barber, lucky hit chance doesn't work. So keep that in mind. Stay away from polearms and just use any of these 3 right here. And I think that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on double swing. I love this build. Again, I think it's going to be the best build for Barbarians, especially after the buff and when they're increasing the monster's health. For Nightmare 100, I believe it's like 150%. This build destroys bosses. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good night, and I hope I didn't miss anything, and if I did, I'll make another video. Later, guys.